This is the way. What's up, guys? It's the Iron Mandalorian, and I'm coming at you from my house. And I'm just going to do a short vlog for you guys today in preparation for one of my absolute favorite holidays, Halloween. And I am so freaking excited. Now, this isn't a vlog for the actual night of Halloween. It is a vlog explaining to you one of the Halloween events I do, well, usually every year, but the last couple of years it's been a little different, so let me get into that right now. So, there is a little, historic town in Rockford called Midway Village, and Midway Village does different, special events throughout the year. One of them is a Halloween event, and they don't do it on Halloween, they do it usually, a couple weeks before, and what's really fun about it is, usually my family and I go, and we trick-or-treat just for the fun of it, and they got some really cool decorations up. They have houses on the inside that are a little bit like haunted houses, but usually just for fun, not too scary, because it's supposed to be kid-friendly. But I will say this, we always dress up, and it's always really cool costumes, and I'm excited to do it again this year. However, the last couple of years have been a little different. So, usually there's people there, people with businesses who sponsor houses, and so what happens is, these people, with their businesses, they sponsor houses to advertise for their businesses. Well, my parents both have their own practices, and they decided a couple years ago that we should start sponsoring a house there too. Just, for the fun of it. A couple years ago, like I said, we decided to start sponsoring a house for my parents' individual businesses, right? And the last couple of years have been really cool. We've done Star Wars, I've been the Mandalorian, and I have an amazing Mandalorian costume. Not to brag, but it's pretty great. And it's just been really fun the last couple of years. It's been a good time. This year, however, we are doing Marvel, and I am really excited for that because of the costume I decided to do. Now, here's the thing. I was going to do President Loki. I was considering that. My dad gave me the idea, and I got the Loki scepter at Disney. If you haven't checked out that vlog yet, check it out. The Disney vlogs from this last trip were really fun. But all things aside, I did get the Loki scepter, and we found all the stuff needed to do President Loki from the Loki series on Disney+, and it was going to be cool, right? I didn't really mesh with the idea all the way. And that's just me. I was not completely into it. Now, here's the reason why. If I'm gonna be Loki, especially with the scepter, I'm gonna do Loki from the first Avengers movie, because that's when he uses the scepter. President Loki, his main weapon of choice is magic and knives. That's it. And something I've never really quite understood, not really understood, more just kind of meshed with the idea is wearing a suit and tie. No offense, but, I'm not a businessman, and I'm not a politician, and I only really like wearing fancy things, like suit and tie, for example, for, I guess, non-casual events, I guess. The thing for me is, it's mainly kids who do the Midway Village trick-or-treating, and, as it should be. And the last couple of years when it's been Star Wars, we've gotten some pretty good reactions. Mainly, not to brag again, but I think mainly me, because my Mandalorian costume is on point. And I have a Grogu that I put with it, or you may know him by his more popular name, Baby Yoda. And it's really great. I got the spear. I made the Beskar spear that the Mandalorian uses. Now, obviously, I probably won't use it much anymore if I do Mandalorian again, because if you haven't seen Book of Boba Fett, then you wouldn't know this, but spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. The Mandalorian melts down his spear into a little thing of Beskar armor for Grogu. And that's in the Book of Boba Fett series. If you haven't seen that series yet, shame on you, for one. And secondly, spoiler alert, because I just spoiled a major episode for you guys. So this year, I'm not doing Mandalorian, just to be clear. I'm doing Marvel, and I got a really cool new Marvel costume from one of the more recent Marvel movies. You may know it, maybe not, but I'm guessing you probably do. It recently was re-released back into theaters as an extended edition, kind of like Justice League, the Snyder Cut, where they kind of overhauled the whole movie and just, honestly, in my opinion, made it better. I did get a new costume, and it could be from, I don't know, one of my most favorite Marvel movies of all time. I can't imagine what that would be. Spider-Man No Way Home, obviously. Nah, I'm just kidding. You guys probably wouldn't know that about me. I don't talk about Marvel all that much as Star Wars. But yes, I did get a Spider-Man costume from Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, for those of you who have seen the movie, you'd say, Noah, which Spider-Man costume are you doing? There's 3 Spider-Men in that movie. Well, just to be clear, I'm doing my favorite Spider-Man. Again, you may ask, Noah, who's your favorite Spider-Man? Because I don't want to talk about that much. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is my favorite Spider-Man. No doubt about it. I thought Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was really good in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I thought he did bring the humor of Peter Parker to the movies, but he also had some of the seriousness too. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. You know, I love him as Spider-Man. He's awesome. I think he does a good job. But there was just something about his version of Spider-Man that I never quite got. Sure, he does the original Spider-Man villains, and it's more based off the comics, but it just never really clicked with me. Let's just put it that way. So when Spider-Man Homecoming got first released, or Captain America Civil War, which is when Spider-Man was first introduced into the MCU officially, and I saw Tom Holland playing Spider-Man, I was like, this is the Spider-Man that I can get behind, because I thought he was awesome. I think he brings the whole package of the seriousness of Spider-Man, the tragedy of Peter Parker's life, or the humor, because, like, you know, it's Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's witty, and he does the quips and everything. He's just a good Spider-Man, let me just be honest. Like, he's awesome. Now, I will say this. Miles Morales has not been introduced into live action yet, or put into the MCU for Spider-Man. However, there was an animated Spider-Man that was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and the animated Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was good, and that's when they really introduced Miles Morales into the Marvel movies. Not MCU, obviously, but it was with Marvel. It was with Marvel and Sony, and they made a really great movie. I loved the movie, and I thought it was hilarious. Like, it was just good. And Miles Morales Spider-Man, I've always liked him. I think he's a great Spider-Man. So, like, if they could do, like, the next Spider-Man movie could be multiversal again, and it could be Peter Parker finally meets Miles Morales in the MCU, I would love that. Like, that's what I've been waiting for. And they made reference to it in Spider-Man No Way Home, where Electro, he's talking to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, he says,
I just thought you was gonna be black.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
I don't apologize. There's gotta be a black Spider-Man somewhere out there.
Like, get the hint, you know? It's obvious they're planning it. I really hope it's true. But enough of this chit-chat. Enough of the chit-chat. It's time I show you my costume. Now, I will say this. This is not my first Spider-Man costume. I have 2 others. So, technically, I have 3 Spider-Men that I can dress up as. So, it's movie accurate. However, 2 of the Spider-Man costumes are from the same character. Same actor. And one of them is not. Now, one of them, please, anybody who sees this, take no offense to this. I love this version of Spider-Man, and I wanted to get the costume for Halloween one year. It was the year that the movie came out, so I was really into it. Please don't take any offense to this. I think it's completely awesome that I have this costume, and I don't want any backlash for it. Okay, so here's my first one. I love this one. It's absolutely one of my favorites. It is the Iron Spider-Man from the MCU. So when in Avengers Infinity War, when Peter is helping Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, and Wong fight the Black Order, which is the main guys that Thanos sends out to conquer worlds for him. And I love this costume. This is the costume that Iron Man gives to Peter so he can help them fight in the battle. Just give him a bit more skill, a bit more power. And I love this costume. Obviously, it's not metal. It's fabric. But, you know, either way, I love it. It's completely awesome. This was my first Spider-Man costume, and it's absolutely incredible. Here's the one that I don't want anybody who sees this taking offense to. Please don't. I really don't want any backlash on this. It is the Miles Morales Spider-Man costume from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So this is not the comic book-based Miles Morales costume. This is the more graffiti art themed kind of one, because like that's how he does like a spray paint thing for the Spider-Man symbol. This is one of Peter Parker's Spider-Man costumes from the movie in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but then Miles spray paints it to be black and red, and he gives like the cool graffiti like Spider-Man symbol. And I love this costume. I think it's great. I have the Miles Morales sweatshirt. I had tennis shoes that went with the costume. I had the black gym shorts. I had an amazing Miles Morales costume. It was so fun to do that the year that I did. It was really great. I loved it. So this is, please, again, no backlash, please. I love this costume. I love dressing up in it. I think it's awesome. Now here is my most recent one. This is the one I'm going to be going to Midway Village in, and this is my favorite Spider-Man suit. I love the Iron Spider, but this thing is amazing. I love it. It's so cool. And so here's the moral, like here's like the origin story of it. This is Peter Parker's black and red Spider-Man costume. Not black and red like Miles. This is the one from Spider-Man Far From Home, the one he makes on Tony Stark's jet with the 3D printer, and he fights Mysterio in it. It's that suit, but it's then in Spider-Man No Way Home, Doc Ock gives part of the Iron Spider suit back to Peter towards the end of the movie, and it becomes this, like the nanotechnology spreads over the costume, and it gives it like this gold emblem, new outlining, a bit of armor, tech integrated into the suit, bit more advanced, and it's so cool, and I love this suit so much. Iron Spider, here it is. This thing is so freaking awesome. I love this costume. It is so good. Like, look at this. Like, it's perfect. Like, all the way around. Like, it's great. Like, if you just look, like, it's definitely movie accurate. I love this costume so much, and I can see out of it pretty well. However, I don't have my contacts in, so I can't see out of it perfectly. But, like, the mask is starting to come up here. It's driving me crazy. But, like, this costume is really great. Like, I love the details on it. Like, the attention to detail, like, with the spider symbol is perfect. And I love the color combination. Black, gold, red, and blue. Like, absolutely. It's like they knew I loved Spider-Man. Like, this is one of my favorite color combinations. Miles Morales Spider-Man. This thing is awesome. I love it. I love it so much. This was my second Spider-Man costume for my second year as Spider-Man. Again, this was kind of out on a whim. I was going to do my own version of Miles Morales, but as, like, Peter Parker's Spider-Man. So I was going to get, like, a blue sweatshirt, and I was going to use my Iron Spider costume, and I was going to get, like, some blue tennis shoes. This mask is sliding up on my face, though. I don't know why. It's driving me crazy. But, like, after a while, it just got so complicated that we were just like, you know what, let's just get him Miles Morales and go with that, because I had the sweatshirt already, I had the tennis shoes, I just needed the costume, and this thing is amazing. I love it so much. The mask is driving me crazy, though. It keeps going up on my face. Oh, it's driving me crazy. The only thing I will say I don't like about this costume is the neck. It goes up really far on my neck. Like you can't even see my neck now. Like, it's just, like, chin... It's just, like, head to costume. Like, I don't get that. It doesn't make much sense to me, personally, because this is not in the movie. Like, this whole neck thing, it's not in the movie. I don't know why they designed it that way, but the rest of the costume is pretty awesome. Like, I love it so much. I really should do Spider-Man one year for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. However, I won't be doing that next year because I'm not going in September next year, because my sister's going to possibly dance at Disney again in December next year. So we're going to get to go to the Christmas party. And that's going to be really fun, because I think I may have only been to the Christmas party one other time. And again, that's when I was much littler. So kind of like the Halloween party, when it's been like 12 years since I've been to the Mickey's Not So Scary. But, like, I really don't know what the plans are for my next year Disney trips. But we'll see what happens. Spider-Man No Way Home. Final costume. This thing is awesome. This is definitely my favorite Spider-Man costume. I don't know if it's my favorite one that I own, but I love the design. I love, like, the bodysuit mainly because, like, check this out. Like, all the way around, super detailed. I love it so much. I didn't get this one from Amazon like the other two. I got this one on eBay, and I gotta be honest, I'm not disappointed. I was a little worried when I heard it was from eBay because eBay, you can't really be sure unless there's, like, good reviews if a costume is good or not, because you just never know. But this thing, the camera does not do it justice. The only thing I'll say, is the mask. The mask is, you can see it's curling up a little in the back. I don't know why it's doing that. It does that a lot. But, like, here you can see my neck, and the mask is a little small. Not, like, small, like, it's tight, but, like, it doesn't stretch all the way down. It doesn't stretch as far as I want it to. Like, if I really pull it and I pull the costume up, I can tuck it in. But I gotta work on it for, like, a few minutes because it's stubborn. But, like, look at this. Like what I said, though. Like, it proves what I said. Look at, like, the arm decoration, like, the arm detail. Like, look at that. Like, this is on point, you guys. Like, the gold emblem is my favorite part. I love it. This is a good costume. I can tell, though, that these things run small, so I did get an extra large, and honestly, I'm okay with that. It's a little saggy here and there, but if I stand all the way up and I stretch, then it looks like a full-on Spider-Man costume. Like, it's really great. I'm happy with it, and I'm glad I got it from Midway Village. Alright, guys, I'm back. So, I'm still wearing the costume, because I love this thing, and it was too much of a hassle trying to change out of it. I did manage to get all three of them in pretty quickly, though. Like, that's got to be a record for me. I'm pretty good at putting on Spider-Man costumes quickly, and I think that's going to come in handy when I go to Midway Village, because I'm going to need to have this on in time for the event to start. We usually get there about an hour before it starts, just so we can be ready for when, like, the first group of kids comes in. And, like, I got to be honest, I loved how excited they got last year when I was the Mandalorian. Like, it was really fun. There were so many kids wanting to come up and take pictures with me. My mom was an Ewok, my sister was Princess Leia, and my dad was Boba Fett. Our Boba Fett costume is not as good as I want it to be. It feels like it's missing something, but it's really not, because that's just how the original Boba Fett costume looked. But honestly, it's the best we got, and with the helmet that we have and the wrist gauntlets, it looks great. Now, no offense, I think I had the best costume of all my family. The Mandalorian costume, it took about maybe 5 to 10 minutes to assemble. And that is like, it was difficult, okay? Trying to get the wrist gauntlets on over the sleeves, not a good time. The Velcro was being problematic, trying to get the Velcro through the straps. It just, I'm happy I'm not doing Mandalorian this year. I can't believe I just said that, because I love the Mandalorian, but, like, I'm kidding, though. I'm honestly kidding. I love doing cosplay. I love doing costumes. My family's, like, we think along the lines of, it's mainly littler kids who come to the Midway Village, so they're not really going to know who we are that much. But there is it's not rare, it's actually a pretty common occasion where a lot of kids will come up to us and be like, oh, I know who you are, I know who you are. Like, and it's great. And, like, when you hear them say, can we get a picture with you, it brightens your whole day, at least for me. Like, I just love that. And I think that's kind of like one of the feelings, kind of like what some of the feelings are for people at Disney when they dress up as Mickey or Minnie, or, like, if they're doing Moana or Aladdin. Like, you know, it doesn't even have to be in, like, one of, like, the mask and bodysuit costumes. It could just be, like, a live-action person, like somebody dressed as Aladdin or Jasmine or any of the live-action characters. Because, like, when you get a kid who loves the genre of character that you're dressed up as, and they're amazed, and it just lights up their eyes, and, like, they see that, and you see them get excited about that, and they ask, one of the things is just if they can take a picture with you, it just brightens your whole day. I love that reaction, and for me, I feel like that's one of the reasons, like, if I ever chose to work at Disney, I would want to try and try out for entertainment and dress up as one of the characters, because it's just an amazing feeling when you get a kid who comes up to you and is just in awe of the costume that you're dressed up in, and if it's a younger kid, then they actually think you're that character. They think you're the real guy. Like, it's just, there's no other way to explain it, you guys. It's just, it fills me up. It fills me with joy. It fills me with joy just talking about it right now. It fills me with as much joy as it does talking to you guys on this vlog. I love doing the YouTube thing. It's, even though I haven't been doing it for that long, I've gotten a ton of videos out, and it's just fun for me. I love doing this, and I hope to continue doing it, because this costume, minus how the mask is, it's really great, you guys. It's a good time, and I thank God every day that He allows me to have this chance in my life to do this, because it's just a fun thing for me. I think, though, one of the highlights of my Mandalorian costume last year when I was at Midway Village was Grogu. I have like an animatronic Grogu that I bought last year, and not bought actually, I got him as a present, and it was just so fun, you know? Like, it was so fun. This Grogu, he is like on point. He's the Galactic Snackin' Grogu is what Hasbro calls him. That's the company who made this one is Hasbro. And they were on point with it. Like, it's great. He can't walk around or anything. There are some that do that, but this one, he has like a soup bowl that comes with him, a spoon. He has a macaron like in Mandalorian, and what was the other thing? Oh yeah, he has the little silver ball that he plays with on the Mandalorian ship. And you can attach all three of those things, not at the same time, obviously, but you can attach all three of those things to his hand, and it will change his programming. It will allow him to try different effects, and his mouth opens, so if you can like feed him with the spoon, he'll actually interact with the spoon. He'll make like slurping noises. He'll burp sometimes. It's hilarious. And his arms move, his eyes move. When his eyes move, it is like on point. It is amazing. He doesn't make that many like mechanical whirring noises. So like it's just great. Like, I love that I have this as a part of my costume, and I recently acquired the satchel that the Mandalorian carries Grogu in. So if I ever do the Mandalorian again, I'll have something to actually put him in instead of like holding him in my arms, because that was a bit harder, because I had the Darksaber, I had the rifle, I had the pistol, and then I had Grogu, and all this time I can barely see out of my helmet. It was just so fun. It really was, though. It was such a good time, and there were so many kids who knew who I was, and I was basically like one of the highlights of their day, because not many of them knew who like the rest of my family was. Like, with my dad, he was Boba Fett, but just there are so many kids who accidentally say fat instead of Fett, so they kept saying Boba Fett, and it was really weird. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. It went a little longer than I thought it would. I'm already like, I don't even know, 10 minutes over? I don't even know. If you did enjoy the vlog, please make sure you like and check out some of my other vlogs. Also comment, tell me what you think of my costumes, which one of the three was your favorite. Like I said, please don't give me any backlash for the Miles Morales costume. I love the costume, I love wearing it. Miles Morales is one of my favorite Spider-Man characters, so when I had the opportunity to do the costume, I was going to take it, because I think it's awesome. Anyway though, remember, the Force is with you on this blessed day. Happy Halloween. I will try and do a Halloween vlog, and I will see you real soon.